There's chapter 27, and so the second half of the novel begins with our pirate friends trapped in the shifting sands with no oxygen. I wanted to start this with a little bit of lighter banter at the top with Jelani and Marie and her gags. One thing that I quite enjoyed about this, writing this particular chapter, was the race against time at the end and the building of suspense, which hopefully with the layers of encryption and while Devereaux's frantically working away at the door and all of her crewmates are dropping like flies behind her, hopefully there's a sense of impending suspense. And we also have her ardent admirer, Mr. Abara, on the other side of the door trying to get in from the outside. So this is meant to be one of those real cliffhanger endings where the stakes are very high and it's all depending on Devereaux and her code cracking efforts. I think I've said before in another one of these diary entries that I'm not often all that comfortable with my names for gadgets and the technology and the devices. I think I feel that way a little bit about the ones that I've put into this chapter, but that's something for the great big edit that I will come back and revisit, and one of the many aspects that I'm just not getting bogged down with now because I have my weekly deadlines and I just want to keep moving forward with the momentum that's built into this whole bold literary experiment. I had a really good writing flow for this chapter. I really banged it out fairly quickly, much faster than my usual rate. I think partially because I was quite excited by the stakes rising and what was happening and the race against time aspect to it. I find that I'm getting swept along by it. I really hope that you are as well. Another thing that I made myself do with the writing of this chapter was to just do one step at a time. Just do this little scene, this little scenario, and don't worry about what's still to come and those blank pages ahead. Sometimes I can dwell on that and get a little bit overwhelmed, as I've mentioned countless times here. But I find when I do focus in on this little mini story which is happening in this chapter, and the couple of little scenes in the shifting sands and the perspective up on the bridge with Captain Singh and also outside the door with Mr. Abara. Each chapter is a little mini building block, a story in itself, and when I focus in on that and just get the job done, knowing where I am at the start of the chapter and where I need to be at the end of the chapter, that's really empowering and fun, and it just sort of, I can just play within those parameters. So it's really enjoyable writing chapter 27, and I hope you like it, and gee, things look pretty grim for the pirates. I wonder what will happen next week. And when I say I wonder what will happen next week, I hope that you wonder what will happen next week. I already know. I hope you like what happens next week. Yes. I hope the cliffhanger works as a proper cliffhanger. We shall see. I shall see, and you shall see as well. Alright, that's enough for this week. Thanks very much, and onward and upward into the second half of the novel.